Anthony Joshua got knocked the fuck out by Andy Ruiz. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Remstar Says So. So let's get right into this one, guys. Andy Ruiz Jr. has shocked the world and become the unified heavyweight champion of the world. Anthony Applejuice Joshua, who really ain't shit, got knocked the fuck out. This fight was... this is a fight I said I wasn't going to watch, and I somehow got roped into watching it. Breaking my neck to get back from the nightclub I was out having a great time, just to come and see AJ get his ass absolutely handed to him. Andy Ruiz Jr., I've got to take my hat off to him. He came, he saw, he conquered. He is now the first Mexican heavyweight champion of all time, and Mexico now has two unified champions in Canelo Alvarez and Andy Ruiz. If Andy Ruiz wasn't a hit overnight, if Andy Ruiz wasn't a hit yesterday, he's woken up today. I hope to God he gets that sponsorship by Snickers bars and any other burgers or anything else that he wants. Andy Ruiz, wow. Anthony Joshua was just terrible, I'll be honest with you. The guy just didn't do much. He knocked down Ruiz in the third round, and Ruiz got up like it was nothing. I criticized Ruiz, as many people did, for coming in heavier. But Ruiz's game plan was absolutely tight. Andy Ruiz said he wanted to come into this fight heavier, and he came in tipping the scales at 19.2 stones. Now, for a guy who's only, 6'1", 6'2", with a 74-inch reach, that's a lot of weight to be bringing into a fight against Applejuice. But I think that extra weight really helped him. It helped him absorb those punches. And, this was his game plan, and it worked to perfection. Andy Ruiz hit the deck first in the third round. AJ hit him with a nice little 1-2 combination left hook, but it literally just had no power with it. Andy Ruiz got up straight away, and AJ looked stunned. He's not used to seeing somebody get knocked down and getting up straight away, and he tried to finish him off, but Andy Ruiz was being a bit clever, slipping the channels, ducking and diving, and hitting AJ with a few combinations of his own. Into the fourth round, and Jesus, Andy Ruiz really put the overdrive in. It's like he had a nitrous oxide, and he started coming out and throwing those fast hands. Now, you wouldn't think that this man had just been knocked down in the round before. He gets a knockdown, and AJ looks absolutely stunned. Andy Ruiz throwing these cute little fast hands, throwing these combinations, punches in bunches, and he's just ducking and diving everything AJ's got to do. A bit of nothingness between round 5 and in round 6. It looks like AJ's getting back into it, but Ruiz is just being too smart and too clever. AJ's biggest downfall for this fight is that he just had a non-existent jab. AJ's left hand for most of the fight was pretty much on level with his belly button, and then he was just carrying that right hand, but he was a bit too scared to throw it. I think the occasion probably took him. When you looked at the fight, AJ looks a bit nervous walking to the ring, and he also looked like he didn't want to be there. He went to America to fight Big Baby Miller, ended up fighting Andy Ruiz, and he's now the former unified champion after only 23 fights. The worst thing is AJ's been talking about the competition that Wilder and Fury is fighting, but he's chatting absolutely out of his ass. For the last 18 months, nobody has fought better fighters than Wilder. Deontay Wilder's fought Ortiz, Fury, and Brazil, who was ranked 9th when he knocked him out. AJ got his ass handed to him. I think the biggest issue with AJ is that he's way too easy to be hit. He's got no head movement and he's got no foot movement. When you look at how AJ fights, he's the sort of walk you down fighter. He comes forward and backwards. There's no left or right movement. He doesn't pivot. He doesn't do any crazy footwork. He doesn't sort of get himself in and out of range. If you look at AJ, his perfect sort of opponents are the kind of guys that want to go to absolute war. Your Dillian Whites, your Derek Chisoras. But Andy Ruiz, he did something a little bit different. He came in and he came with good foot movement, great head movement, ducking and slipping. He was like a small fat version of Tyson Fury. And, everybody was body shaming him. He's not the body beautiful, but my God, did he come to fight. I'm surprised because I said I thought AJ would take him out sometime between round 5 and 9. And realistically, AJ was the one who hit the deck. He hit the floor 3 times, 3 knockdowns in the 7th round. And the referee asked him, was he ready to continue? And he started leaning back on the ropes. And at that point, the referee decided he had seen enough. I had Andy Ruiz way up on the cards up until the stoppage with the 4 knockdowns. And I just think that AJ, he just looked terrible. In my opinion, AJ, he really needs to go back to the drawing board. He should step aside and let Andy Ruiz fight Deontay Wilder for the undisputed title. He's got a lot that he needs to work on, because even if he beats Andy Ruiz, AJ's not beating Deontay Wilder and he's not beating Tyson Fury. I don't even think he could beat Luis Ortiz. Realistically, he needs to learn some foot movement. He needs to learn how to work the channels. I don't understand what was going on. Like, was he nervous because he was away from the UK? Maybe if this fight happened in the UK, it would have been a different sort of situation. Andy Ruiz, though, my God, I think he might have been studying Deontay Wilder tapes, because all I saw him doing, he was swinging for the hills, but he was hitting and he was connecting. Andy Ruiz doesn't look like he's got a lot of power, and he doesn't look like a lot of things, because, you know, he looks a bit like the old school. There was another fighter that looked like him back in the day. I think his name was Butterbean or Butterbee or something like that. A big fat piece of shit, and you know, he was more of an exhibition fighter. But no, Andy Ruiz has shocked the world. He shocked myself, and he is now unified heavyweight champion of the world. I heard Eddie Hearn chatting a load of shit, saying that the rematch is going to be in the UK. Surely if Andy Ruiz has just won the unified championship, he must have some say in it. I understand he would have signed rematch clause terms and so on and so forth, but, you know, the fights are always going to be bigger in the US with that US market. So surely Andy Ruiz should say, look, if you want this rematch, you got to come back to MSG. AJ just looks scared from the get-go. I think maybe the occasion got to him. And the fact is, Andy Ruiz, he looks calm, cool as a cucumber. I think it's easier when you're the underdog for this fight. Nobody expected Andy Ruiz to do anything, and the performance that he put in was stellar. He was throwing his combinations, punches in bunches, and, you know, Andy Ruiz, he's clearly not a knockout artist in the sense of what Deontay Wilder does, that right hand put you to sleep, see you later, KO man. But what he did do is load up. It's crazy because Andy Ruiz, you know, he's fought Joseph Parker for a world title before and he lost, and he told everybody he was going to shock the world. He's the Snickers eating guy. He has shown the world that, you know, you don't need to look like a Greek god. In my opinion, AJ needs to come back down. He's too big and he's too bulky. Even if he beats Ruiz in the rematch, if he ever dares to get in the ring against Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder, it's one-way traffic. Wilder will spark him out in 6 rounds or less, and Tyson Fury will just dance around him to a unanimous points decision. AJ, in my opinion, needs to get back down to the physique that he had when he fought Dillian Whyte. Over the years, he's just been bulking up and bulking up and bulking up, and now he just looks too big, too stiff. In my opinion, and I've been saying this way before I ever had a boxing channel, Anthony Joshua he's Frank Bruno Mark II, a big, bulky guy who looks the part, but, you know, when it comes down to it, he's just going to get ironed out. If he fights Deontay Wilder, I swear he's just going to get demolished. He needs to go and have a couple of fights with a few other people and really reassess where he's coming from. I have to give a huge congratulations to Andy Ruiz because he's done what nobody or not many people thought he could. It was worth it. Like, was it worth staying up? I think I went to bed at about 5:30 and I didn't get much sleep. I was probably up by about 9:30. I've had a couple of hours sleep. And all I've been doing is rewatching this fight and just trying to work out what the fuck happened. AJ was very lazy with the jab. He rarely threw it out. When he did, it didn't really have nothing behind it. Didn't do much with the right hand either. I don't know if it was the occasion, if it was the atmosphere. Was he looking past Ruiz? Was he thinking about the likes of Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury? I don't know. But what I do know is he got knocked the fuck out. He's now taken a loss and he's no longer the unified champion of the world. Is he going to take the rematch? I don't think he particularly wants it. And should the rematch be in the UK? Hell no. I think Andy Ruiz, as the champion, should get the right to fight in his backyard again. And I think AJ should fly back over to America. But yeah, full congratulations to Andy Ruiz. He's now the unified heavyweight champion of the world. If Al Heyman can make it happen, because I know he's an Al Heyman fighter, and get AJ to step aside, let's get the undisputed fight, Wilder versus Ruiz. Let's see who is the man. And then AJ can fight the winner. Maybe AJ goes and rematches Dillian White or fights some other bum. Who knows? But yeah, he's no longer the champion. Congratulations to Andy Ruiz. Punches in bunches. He swung from the hills. And that little fat guy is now a world heavyweight champion. I mean, this is the biggest upset in boxing history. More of an upset than when Mike Tyson lost to Buster Douglas, because Buster Douglas hit Mike Tyson with one lucky punch, some people say. Andy Ruiz just technically put together an ass whooping, and AJ had no response for him. I've been saying for years that AJ has no defense, and Andy Ruiz has proved it. All the criticism that I've ever put together of Anthony Joshua has all been sort of it's been proven. And yeah, that's it. What did you think of the fight, guys? Did you pay £20 for it? Did you get an illegal stream? Do you want to watch a rematch? Do you think AJ should fight somebody else and then come back? Leave me a comment, hit like, hit subscribe, share this video. That's the end of the show, because Remstar says so.